right, so here is a video on bracing, okay? So bracing is about breathing, right? It's about getting the core engaged for when you're doing those heavy lifts, okay? And then I'll show you some kind of like demonstrations on how the best way to go through that. But basically when you do any type of bracing, I like to have you start with your hands on your sides, okay? Because what you want to ultimately do is fill out the sides, if that makes any sense to you, right? So when I brace, it gets real firm along the sides, okay? I already know my belly's tight and I know my back is now tight, but I can still hinge. Here's how you know if your core is engaged, right? If you're standing here, right, and you brace, okay, if I go to bend over, it's very awkward unless I get my hips involved. All right, does that make sense? Does that work? But it's when you see somebody brace, it's not holding your breath, it's not pulling your belly in, it's engaging the core. So my core is nice and engaged, right? Feeling strong, feeling steady. Now notice how I can still talk normally. I'm not gasping for air, right? If I was trying to pull it in and trying really to not breathe, all right, that's when you get into trouble, okay? That's when you see guys who are doing lifting and then they pass out, all right? So to do it, take that big breath in and engage the core. Feel as though your abs are really engaged. Another way you can do it is put your hands in your sides and you should be able to fill out your hands, all right? This way you feel as though your core is expanding outwards. It takes some practice to be able to do it, but you want to think your core muscles are engaging on the sides. This way, the core is nice and tight and stiff and strong, but I can move my arms and my legs and my body doesn't move at all. So when I relax, I can feel that those things have been engaged and now released. This will make your core extremely strong, especially if you're doing it with heavy weight training. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, let me know. We can talk about it on a Zoom call. But before you lift, let's say we're doing a back squat, okay? We're here. Take that deep breath. Engage the core, all right? And one of the tests that I like to do is making sure I can look from side to side. This lets me know that I'm not squeezing and really straining, but here I am, core's nice and engaged. So I go down into my squat and I should be able to breathe nice and steady all the way up. Core's engaged, all right? As you're practicing this, don't go too heavy. I would do a couple warm-up sets or maybe just use like a broomstick or something, but practice your breathing, hands out to the side. Another thing that you could do would be like laying on the floor, stepping against the wall, and as you engage, you're pushing out your sides, which will push your back out a little bit, right? So what you don't want to do is push the belly forward. That's just asking for an injury and a strain. I know this was a longer video than normal, but bracing is one of those things that you want to make sure you can do it. So to practice it, hands are pressing out to the side, and you should be able to take a deep breath, engage your core, and still have a normal conversation and move around. But meanwhile, your core is still engaged, right? I can still feel it right in there. All right, let me know if you have any questions or have any trouble with that.